Okay, let's turn the clock back a bit here. March 29th, 2021. It's already been almost an entire year since I've done one of these. Like, holy crap. Like, hell, so much has changed. I've got a whole extra year of school under my belt. Teams aren't playing in a bubble anymore. But more or less, a lot is still the same. Everett's defense is still borderline unfair. The Winterhawks still have no trouble finding the net. And that Connor Bedard kid, he's still pretty good. He's okay. But anyways, thank you for your patience, because WHL Weekly is finally back after an extended hiatus, if I say so myself. Like, what was it that I said all those months back again? I thought I'd take a short second to tell you guys, if I can't stick to WHL Weekly every week like it should be, just know it's for a good cause, because I got school, I got other duties outside of YouTube that are more important than making sure I upload on here. So yeah, school took over, understandable. Like, I'm a guy all about that quality over quantity, and you know that. Well, now Luke gets to do this as part of his media lab assignment in his final semester of school. It's a lucky guy, he's a lucky guy. So then, let's cut to the chase. I'm FWFarenholtz, and welcome back to WHL Weekly.
Line left wing side, Gauthier, he'll walk in, wrist shot, he scores! Now he's got the hat trick, Dylan Gauthier. Hometown kid flying down that left wing. Who can stop that?
Bedard cuts to his right, shoots and scores! Connor Bedard breaks the deadlock 22 seconds into the second period.
If there's one thing that's immediately obvious when checking the WHL standings as of now, we've got some psychotic streaks going on, both good and poor, and it's going to be a lot of the episode today. The one that is nearly impossible to ignore, though, is the 16-game point streak owned by the Portland Winterhawks, 15-0-1 since the 29th of December. They have yet to lose in regulation this calendar year, and there's a ton of factors to attribute to it. Like, to put it frankly, the entire team has just been clicking like a pod of dolphins from top to bottom. Their core of veterans with the likes of Cross Hannes, Tyson Kozak, and Jaden DeRoe have been piling on more points than the scorekeepers can handle, and then the youngsters like Marcus Nguyen, Luca Cagnoni, and Gabe Clausen are really chipping in and filling their roles. Like, who even needs that Seth guy or whatever his name was? I have no idea where he went, but something tells me, I don't think they need him anymore. And don't think I was going to forget about this. The acquiring of Taylor Gauthier from the Cougars, in my opinion, has got to be one of the better trades we've seen over the last couple of seasons in the league. To finally see this guy in a winning environment puts an enormous smile on my face. Since his arrival, Gauthier is 8-0-0 with 2 shutouts and has statistically been the best 10D in the entire league, if not the entire CHL. Just compare his stats with the Cougars this year to what he's done in Portland already. These numbers are simply uncanny. I've been saying this for years, that if you put this guy in a winning environment, you will see results, and these numbers prove it. Gauthier would have been drafted ages ago if he had the opportunity with a team like the Winterhawks. As for Gauthier's old club, though, they haven't been miraculous since the start of the calendar year, but the future is honestly blinding, which is surprising for a city that gets under 8 hours of sunlight in the winter, just saying. It is tough to showcase their raw skill at the moment when you're on a long American road trip and you've played 5 games in a calendar week, but let's look at some of the lingering positive this team has going for them, and one of those has to be Tyler Brennan. Like, I'd like to see you face over 60 shots in a WHL game and maintain a 900% save percentage. Like, do I even have to show you these stats? I almost feel like I'm just regurgitating Gauthiers from 2 seasons ago. It's simply just uncanny, and it's just incredible. I can't wait to see what organization gets their hands on him come draft night this summer. And then I also find it kind of odd that Brennan isn't the only goalie to see 60 plus shots by the hands of the Silvertips this week either. Campbell Arnold of the Royals, sheesh. Man made 58 saves on 62 shots, and your team only lost by 2. That's just a round of applause. Like, the Royals are another team that are on a streak of their own, but given the fact that a majority of their team has been either stricken with COVID or an injury, I can't blame them for this role they're on. Like, 0-12-1 is just, it's rough. Like, so much lies on the shoulders of their healthy players, having to log crazy minutes every game, playing their own end for the most part. I simply just admire their dedication. You gotta look at the positives. These guys are working their ass off every single night. It may not be showing up on the score sheet, but it's showing up in their effort. They don't have to do this every night. The fact that they're going out there all the time, just huge smile on my face. You gotta look at it like that. Now though, like as you heard me there though, the Silvertips, I was really astounded to find out that they were actually shooting this many pucks on the net this weekend. They had 167 across 3 contests to be exact. That's 55.7 a game on average. And if you want an intriguing stat, the Silvertips have only one player that ranks within the league's top 10 for shots on goal, meaning everyone on this team is finding offensive opportunities on a nightly basis. This 8-0-0 run they're on is entirely warranted. Major kudos to the top 6 though, specifically Nico Huhtinen. Like, he was the last overall pick in 2021, and he's doing this. Are you kidding me? Like, we might have another Patrick Hornqvist story on our hands here. Come to think of it though, let's go over some guys that I know for a fact won't go last overall in this upcoming draft. It's time for the prospect watch.
Boy, shooting, he scores.
Connor Bedard puts on a show.
Fergus backhand, score!
In this new segment, we're solely going to be talking about the undrafted prospects that have been grabbing my attention, whether they be eligible for 2022, 2023, hell, maybe even 2024. And our first feature is going to be Huhtinen's line mate, Ben Hemmerling. Since coming back from a minor upper body injury, he's been putting his playmaking acumen back on full display. Over his last 10 games, he's posted 15 points with 13 assists, putting him above the likes of the shifty Jagger Firkus and the sharpshooter Brandon Lisowski. Like, look at this sexy backhand sauce. Like, that's not easy to pull off with 3 guys in the way. Hemmerling is definitely a hot riser in my books right now that could easily challenge to be a top 100 prospect at the end of the year. Another guy that can enter that territory is also Seattle's Reed Schaefer. He's been a shooting threat all year, and boy, can he ever stick handle for a larger power forward. He's got 13 in his last 10, along with 40 shots on goal. Next up, the hometown kid Atlee Calvert of the Warriors. He's not quite a familiar name, but his consistent production as of late could garner him some attention if he keeps up the good work. He's racked up 6 goals in his last 4 games, all of them at even strength. He had a hat trick as well. And then rocking Moose Jaw's power play though, it is Jagger Firkus. And get used to his name because he's going to be soaring into the likes of Craig Buttons and Bob McKenzie's rankings real soon with his flashy Trevor Zegras style of play. He's got 13 points with the Warriors' impressive 8-game win streak as of now. Like, it just seems like everyone's popping off, including you know who. I'm not even going to say it.
Oh my! Does it get any better than that? Connor Bedard puts on a show.
Yeah, is it safe to say he's found his groove again? Like, did he ever lose it in the first place? Bedard once again is chasing the league's top scorers with 27 points in his last 11 games. But this goal right here, that's up there with Cross Hannes' Zegras flip over to James Steffen. Like, the confidence coursing through his veins right now is gonna have the Eastern Conference sweating bullets real soon. Because something tells me Bedard will be making those strides in his game that everyone had been anticipating for the last few months. His Pats, on the other hand, have been dealt an unlucky combo as of late though. They've lost their last 5 in a row, but 3 of these games have been lost by a single goal. The depth just really needs to start pulling up their trousers a bit, but tuning into Bedard right now is definitely some must-watch hockey. If it hasn't ever been. Like, it's always must-watch hockey. But if you're really looking for a hot trio to keep your eyes glued to right now, it's Kamloops' new top line of Logan Stankoven, Caden Bankier, and Luke Toporowski. And with Topper on the squad, they're 9-0. The chemistry between himself and Stankoven would make you think these guys have been playing together since they were toddlers. Like, these numbers, just look at these. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Not to mention that Stankoven is currently like on the hottest point streak in the league right now with 30 points in 13 games. That's outlandish. Like, 2nd round pick. Are you kidding me? Like, 5 foot what? Like, no. I realize Kamloops' competition hasn't been stellar over this run, but give credit where credit is due. Like, they did their retooling at the deadline, and they've cemented themselves a core that is more than capable of slotting 4 to 6 goals a game without a problem. As they've been in the last 3 seasons, the Blazers are simply smoking hot. And I'll end things off with our top teams and players for the week. Currently in the teams section, in regard to the current win streaks we're seeing right now, you'd be foolish to not have the Winterhawks, Blazers, Silvertips, and the Warriors. Like, by God, are you kidding me? Look at this. They're just lucky neither of these guys have had to play each other over the last bit. And in respect to the players, obviously Bedard reigns at the top spot with his dazzling goal and 7 points across 3 hard-fought games. And then his fellow D-man Riker Evans will follow in suit with his 4 goals from the blue line, and then leaving none other than Lukas Fishkovsky of the Thunderbirds with the final spot. 6 points in 2 games. Looks like the Penguins prospect is just finally getting a grip with this new team. And I just want to say I hope you enjoy the resurgence of the series. Like, I'm really glad I'm able to do this for school, and it just feels good producing hockey content once again. Like, sorry if the news from this episode is also a tad dated, didn't have as much time over the weekend to set things up as I would have wanted, but I'm aiming to get these done on Wednesday or Thursday rather than the traditional Sunday I used to do. But like, hey, look at the product you're getting now. I'm a quality over quantity guy, you know that. Hope you enjoyed though anyways, I'll catch you next week, and thank you for tuning in to WHL Weekly. See ya.